Hey y'all, so for one of T-Team's last videos, we decided to create a mosaic. And now, so mosaics are typically come from broken pieces of pottery, from glass, and they're put together to make a beautiful new picture. And so that's what we kind of tried to do, but we made it a symbolic mosaic. So we took items that we thought represented us and put them together into a mosaic. So in this video, you'll hear why the advocates chose what they chose to send in, and then you'll see the end result, the end mosaic. So everyone chose an item that represents them, a Bible verse that speaks to them about community coming together, because even though we aren't able to come together in person, this mosaic is a chance for us to all come together symbolically. And also there's pictures of us in the mosaic just to show us as a part of it. All right.
Hi guys! The object that I chose to represent me is this little hotel key card. And I have this just because I like to collect these and remember some of the different places that I've been. And so I thought that this just represented my love for traveling and for exploring and trying new things, going to new places in this whole big beautiful world that we have here. And it also got me thinking how a hotel is kind of like a home. Wherever you go, you can count on one to be there. And this is how I like to think about God. God is a home wherever we are, and we can always count on Him to be there, like a hotel.
We were assigned to find an object that represented who we are, just sort of symbolized our identity to show our uniqueness and how we're all different. And I thought about it for a long time, and I couldn't think of anything that really truly defined me. I know I play soccer and basketball, for example. I'm active in my youth group and Massanetta and things like that. But I think the thing I decided that defined me was learning. So this is my object, a folder that says learning on it. And inside are different colored pieces of paper that just sort of represent what I'm still learning about. So first, God is in here. I'm still learning about God and getting to understand God, and myself is next. I'm still learning more about myself, finding out more about my personality. The world, I'm just a rising junior in high school, so I'm learning more about the world just like you guys are. And then finally school, I'm learning obviously at school, and that's something I take pretty seriously. So yeah, my object was a folder with a piece of paper in it that represented learning.
I picked this prayer square to represent me. I actually got this my first year as a advocate at NETA from a fellow advocate, or fellow advocates I should say. And the reason I say that this represents me is because, well, first of all, it's versatile. I've used it as bookmarks, as well as praying with it, as well as just a comfort. And it also reminds me that I have a community from NETA, and also a community of Christians and a community of faith that I belong to, which just gives me lots of reassurance whenever I feel down. And I just love this. It's been with me to Italy and North Carolina and NETA and Arizona, and it brings me so much joy, and it brings me so much happiness. And so I picked this because it reminds me of my faith, and it reminds me of my community, which I love.
Hello. So for my item, I ended up choosing a yellow rose, as you can see here. And so there's a couple different reasons I ended up choosing it. First of all, my favorite color is yellow, and I love wearing it. It's surprising right now that I don't have some on, like half my closet's yellow. Second, I love to read and stuff, and so one of my favorite books was recommended by my English teacher, love her to death, was The Age of Innocence, and one of the cool things about it is that it really talks about flower symbolism, and so a yellow rose is symbolic of friendship and stuff, and so I'm really close with a lot of my friends, stuff like that, and so this symbolizes that. On top of it, it symbolizes kind of my love of reading, as well it kind of symbolizes like family and stuff for me, because my mom's mother, she used to make fake flower bouquets like all the time and stuff, and so she also like she would love to just put them around the house, and my mom, like, she never liked them and stuff, like, and so my mom's mom, she passed away a couple years ago and stuff, and so now kind of it's a way for me and her to remember her mom, so it's like it's kind of just a bonding moment for us.
Hi guys, for my object, I chose this Music Man Jr. poster. I chose this poster because it means a lot to me. It was the first musical that I was ever involved in, and it marks the beginning of my love for theater, singing, and being creative, which is a big part of who I am today.
Hey y'all, it's Lindsey. I'm going to be talking a little bit right now about the object that I contributed to our Advocate Mosaic. So I sent in this little rock that I painted a couple years ago, I guess drew on a couple years ago, and it says trust on it. I made this in youth group, and it's sat by my bed for a couple of years now, right by my nightstand. And it is just a reminder to me to trust in God and to trust that there's always a greater plan and that God always has my back. So that's what I decided to send in for our mosaic.
Hi, I'm Annabel, and the item I chose to represent me is this piece of coral I found on the beach. I don't think it focused. It's okay. Piece of coral I found on the beach a few years ago, I think. And I've chose it to represent me because, like me, it found its way through the oceans, from wherever it came from, washed up on the beach, you know, kind of guided, going with the flow. And I feel that. Like, I've come a long way through my life. Still got a long way to go. So there's this little piece of coral, it's got a long way to go. Over to Day's house, yay. Yeah, and I feel like I try and just go where God leads me, wherever that may be. And I'm excited to see where I end up. Yeah, thank you.
The item I chose was sheet music from my school musical this year. Unfortunately, we didn't get to put it on, but this was like a huge win for me. I finally got a role in a musical, and I was super excited to play it, and I really think that being a part of that show really shaped me into who I am. And music in general has been super important in my life and shaping me into who I am. So this is my item because it's meant a lot to me over the years. I've been doing chorus and I've been singing in choirs since 5th grade, so I just think that this is a great representation of who I am.
Hey guys, I'm Lauren, and as my item, I chose this little square that I knitted myself. For me, this not only represents that I like to knit, but also I like to be creative and think outside the box. Knitting is only one of the ways that I like to be creative. I also enjoy theater and singing. I love doing these things because they're fun to do, and they feed my more creative side.
Hey y'all, so the object that I chose to represent me was a deck of cards. The first reason why I chose this was just because I really love playing cards. I love strategy games. It's so much fun. Sometimes, like, my friends or family and I, like, we like to compete to be like, all right, whoever loses does the dishes or something like that. So it's really super fun, but also I think a deck of cards represents me because there are so many different cards and every card is different, and that's kind of like what God has given me, or what like God has blessed me with, a bunch of different and unique opportunities, every single one of them different, but if I use them all together, then it creates my life, you know.
Hi everyone. So the object that I've chosen to represent me is this little clay tile that I made a few years ago. And I think this represents me because I love to be creative and always be working with my hands, whether it be through pottery or painting or drawing, and I just think this represents my creativity.
And now what you have all been waiting for, the final result.
Up the vessel and I was walking back home. On the sidewalk before me I saw this hope being shown. Different colors of skin on the fingers of hands. Collection of multicolored chalk writing love on the land.